Hello everyone, this is Timor-ensinck. And today I'm making something a little different than usual, because usually I just make game content. Um, but as you may have noticed, I've been uploading a game called Freedom Having Groove to my channel, and someone recently commented on my videos, and I was like, hey, I was originally, going to make a video of how to set up the emulator that I use for with having groove. You can use it for other games, of course. But I didn't do it in the end, and they were like, "You should do it." So here I am. In this video, I'm gonna be teaching, well, really anyone who wants to know how to set up this emulator. So first, I want to talk about the download process a little bit. Basically, the way you can find this is in Google. If you type something like switch emulator download, you should be able to find it quite easily. If you need help with that, I can always assist, but I'm not sure if sharing links to emulators is allowed in the description, so I won't do that. But before you get the emulator, you will also need the switch prod keys, which basically, to explain it in simple terms, are basically keys that allow the emulator to decrypt the games for them to be able to be launched. Basically, that's the whole idea. And once you've got those, you can start doing stuff. So let's go and launch the emulator. I have removed all of my config and everything so that we start fresh, just so I can teach you how to do this. So it's saying that the decryption keys are missing, and it's asking us if we want to install them now. We can tap these buttons, no or yes. We're going to click yes. Now I want to select the location. Now, I'm going to the correct location. There we go. We're going to this folder. Now, in your folder, you should have the title keys and prod keys. Now, make something absolutely sure. Press enter on the prod keys first. There we go. There goes that. Now, what we want to do is we want to press Alt to go to the menu bar, and then we want to start pressing right. But before I do that, I'm going to switch to the language real quick. You don't need to notice because just a second, guys. There we go. That's not it. Now it's in English. It basically chooses your system language by default, and mine is in Dutch, so it goes to Dutch by default. But I didn't want that, so I had to switch it. If you want to do that, you go into the settings and the general one, and you go to the right tab. I'll explain that stuff in a little bit, but the main important thing is that everything is controlled through a menu bar. So we're going to press Alt again. Hello. There we go. There it goes. I think it might have not been in the window or something. So we're going to press right until we hit Tools. Then we're going to go up to install the decryption keys. We're going to press enter on this. And now, we're going to press enter on the title keys. There we go. Those are installed. Alright. Now, if you wanted, you could technically already start playing games that you want to play on this emulator, Switch emulator. However, we're going to go into the configuration section and configure our controls. I'll show you how to do that. And I'll show you a few important things here. So what you want to do is you want to go to the menu, then want to go one right to the emulation, and then start going down. into the menu and then go one down, stop, restart, configure. Go into here. Alright, I'm gonna stop this. Now, you want to start pressing Shift Tab. That is the thing that I went to. So, we're currently in the general section of the settings. If we go one back with the Shift Tab, we're here general because we're in the general category. But if we go if we go forward one tab, so I press tab again. If I press tab, we see a tab control. This allows us to basically go through tabs on the current category of the settings we're on. So in the general category, we have general, hotkeys, UI, and web, and debug. If you want to change the language to English like I did, you want to go to the UI, tab a few times until you hear the following. Now, that would be set to system, and I press E once set to English, and I press OK. That's how you change the language if you want it to be English. So that's just for example I wanted to show. We're going to go through these lists. None of these categories are really important to us right now. If you want to change some of your settings, you can look at these yourself. Because I won't go for everything. This thing is pretty descriptive. But where it does get a little bit confusing is the controls. So I will go here. The player 1 tab, you can change between players by, with the tab control. We've got 8 players in advance. We're going to go to the first player. We're going to tab switch. Connect controller, so player 1's controller is connected. Note this is still using the keyboard, but connect controller. A Pro controller is currently connected. Now, you might be wondering, what is this? For those who don't know, the Switch comes basically, normally, with a left and right Joy-Con, so 2 Joy-Cons, a pair of Joy-Cons. And these Joy-Cons have buttons. So like each Joy-Con has buttons, like I think one has the face buttons and analog sticks, and another one has like the D-pad and stuff. I forget what it is exactly, I won't be able to tell you. But you can also buy a Pro controller which has all buttons. However, we are going to set this to the left Joy-Con. And we're going to set player 2 connect this controller. We're going to set that to the right Joy-Con. Why am I doing this? Well, the reason why I'm doing this is because, say, if we wanted to play a 2-player game or whatever, but you didn't have enough keys, or you don't want to, say, for example, just make an entirely new keybinds for a bunch of keys like A, B, X, Y, stuff like that when you don't need it. So that's how you basically do that. You want to set the first one to the left Joy-Con and the second one to the right Joy-Con. So you can basically use, for example, A on one player and I think it's Y on the other one. So you don't have to basically make entirely new keybinds for both players. Or one would be set and then the other one would not be set, basically. And going through these keybinds, we're going to go for them. Input device, that allows you to change the input device. So we have any, keyboard only, keyboard mouse. If we have a controller connected, you could choose that from here as well. Profile, I haven't really worked with this stuff yet. We're gonna skip past it. Save, load, we're gonna skip past this. Now, what's nice is that this reads out the buttons to you as you tap for them. So that's what plus is assigned to. That's what 0 is assigned to. What that is. R, so we see that's what R is assigned to. SR, that we see that's what SR is assigned to. SR. Home. It's telling me what the button is and then the key that's assigned to. So for example, X right now is assigned to V. B is assigned to that. A assigns that, and Y assigns that. There's a bunch of stuff in there that is irrelevant. And if we go back to player 1, we can see the left stick, and we see a D-pad. Yeah, so basically, yeah, these Joy-Cons have different buttons. So as you can see, the Joy-Cons basically are sharing different buttons because they're basically just parts of a controller, basically. It's interesting the way they did that. For example, the left one has plus and the right one has minus, for example. The console mode is interesting. That's something I will talk about. The console mode is basically what the Switch is using right now. Basically, the Switch has two modes. Docked to a TV, or just docked, which means it's connected to a TV, or handheld. I prefer leaving this on handheld because you don't really need to change it, honestly, and if you don't want, for example, calibration, rhythm, having groove, you don't really want it to be docked if you don't want calibration. If you don't want calibration, you want to switch it to handheld mode for that game specifically. So yeah, that's really the control stuff. There's a bit more in here, like the vibration, and you can change the intensity if you go into the configure thing here. But I'm not going to touch on that. Motion, you can configure that too. Lots of unable checkboxes. Defaults, you can reset the defaults or clear them. So yeah, but just to recap, the Switch has basically two different parts of a controller, the left and right Joy-Cons by default. If you wanted a root controller with all the buttons like plus, start, D-pad, sticks all in one controller, you need to get a Pro controller. But the reason why we configured the first player to the left Joy-Con and the right one, the second one to the right Joy-Con, is because so that we wouldn't have to completely make two controllers on the keyboard, because that's excessive. And the more shortcuts you can make, the easier you can make it on yourself, it's better to do that. Because if I wouldn't have done that, I would have, for example, had two A buttons, and that's yeah, that's not really pleasant to play in two-player, for example, so yeah. Let's get out of settings. And now, you can launch any game you want. Now, there's something of note. Sometimes it may come up with a controller applet, and if you tap once, there's a checkbox that's not checked, or like twice, there's a checkbox that's not checked. Check it, shift tab and press OK, and then everything will be good. So, to launch ROM, you can either go to the Alt menu, so you can press Alt to the menu bar. File, you can go one down. Two down. Load file. Or you can just simply press Ctrl O, which is what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna go to we're gonna have Groove ROM. This is what I'll be showing this off with. I have a folder called Switch Games. Let's launch it. Let's press enter. Like that. So if I press tab and tab again, tab again, shift tab, there it is. Now I press shift tab again, to the OK button. So you want to shift tab from there and press OK. And now it's connected.
Note: if you're using wireless earphones, you may notice a slight delay between the images on the screen
and it works.
The sound. If the delay is troublesome, you could try using wired headphones to reduce it.
So we can press A, which is by default C on the keyboard, and the game loads.
Press A.
Now, if you want to turn this up, you want to go to the menu bar. With Alt, you want to go to Configure, then you're going to go to the Audio section. We're going to go to the list, go down until you hear audio,
System, CPU, graphics, audio,
and then you want to tap
audio tab, control, audio tab.
until you
OK button enter, cancel button enter,
hear this.
apply button enter, audio grouping, audio grouping, slider 100,
The slider 100. You can turn this up to a maximum of 200. We're going to turn this up to 120.
110, 120.
Now what's cool if we press OK, we hear change in real time like this.
Apply button, cancel button, OK button enter. E0 win.
Like that, it just turned itself up. So let's close this. I'm gonna press Alt F4.
Yes button enter, yes button enter.
Yes, I'm sure I want to close it. Alright. So that's that. That is how you set up Ian. It's not a extremely difficult process, but it's one that I did want to make a recording of. If there's anything that's unclear, because I might have been a little unclear, please do let me know. And I can always answer questions in the comments, of course. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.
Virtual recorder, virtual close the